Alright. Now, apparently the Genshin VAs are trying to say sorry.
Had a lot of people tagging me too. Kaylee Mills apology over on Twitter. Thank you all for the tags. We're here over on the Genshin Impact subreddit though from this post from 14 hours ago titled Kaylee Mills public apology, because the first thing I want to show you is an example of the top comments here. For example, this one that says, "It sounds to me like she had to make a public apology. She may or may not have gotten a stern warning by her overlords. This is what makes the most sense.
Oops.
Because the apology isn't even genuine. Going by her wordage, she's, quote, not sorry she did it. She's sorry she got caught, unquote. Got caught, unquote. As the saying goes."
Oh, yeah, so
Another
I guess...
saying,
Yeah,
quote,
it had to
"Although I
be
was
someone
far from the first person
from
to make a
corporate
response,"
being like,
unquote.
hey, can you
Yeah,
not
we know.
do this,
Ruining
please?
your own apology in 2 sentences by deflecting like this is wild. In other words, the top responses are all people calling her out, basically saying in their own words that they don't view this apology as genuine in
Well,
any way,
obviously,
shape, or
because
form. So you could say
she
it's not really
basically
going
just
well.
said...
Of course, we're going to read the full apology.
Yeah, she basically just said, oh, I'm only saying sorry because corporate made me say sorry. It's like... Ah, yeah, you're not very genuine, you fucking retard.
as well, but really quick.
And you're a
how
Tau.
did we get here?
You're a Tau.
Well, as we discussed the other day, it looks like Kaylee Mills
Basically
had publicly
that.
tweeted at Jacob
And you're a
Takanashi back
Tau.
in
You're a
2022, where Jacob Takanashi was talking about a Japanese company that he's working with to dub a bunch of romance manga and visual novels for YouTube and Line, and that he's looking for an English-speaking female voice talent. If anyone's interested, to drop their demos below, and he'll forward that stuff to the hiring director, to which Kaylee Mills said, "Hi Jacob, I speak quite a bit of Japanese and have done heaps of dubbing and other character work. Thanks for your consideration." But then, fast forward to 2025, March 26th, where Jacob Takanashi announces that Hoyo has hired him as the role of Kenichi, and Kaylee Mills had a different tune, saying, "This is actually kinda diabolical. If you need the money, at least take the role uncredited. This just comes off as an easy cash grab for clout. It's not a good look." To which she got this community note that reads, "According to the voice actor Nathan Noakes, fellow VA Jacob Takanashi, who is a Japan-based VA, had no knowledge of the strike or the circumstance of which the role was being recasted." Now, really hoping you're familiar with this whole strike situation or collective work refusal situation. Because if you're not, there's like, yeah, even more to recap that we're not going to recap here. It'd be way too redundant. But I can give a very quick TLDR. And if you want the actual fine details, please check out the playlist I have of all my videos covering this situation. I'll link in the description
the
for you.
Asian
All those
countries
videos
don't
combined have,
care
like,
about
easily over 2 million plus
LGBTQ
views. So thank you
stuff.
all for your continued support
to
during
say
this
it.
ongoing coverage. Okay, so
Like,
on to
they
the
never
TLDR,
cared
and if you're
about
familiar
that
with this
shit.
stuff, feel free to skip to about the 3-minute and 45-second mark.
It's the
A
only
bunch of
Western
entitled
countries
VAs
that
from
care
SAG-AFTRA
about
union claim to be striking against
It's all
Hoyoverse,
Western
demanding
countries.
what they're calling protections against AI. They try to get the fandom and the
The Eastern
internet to fight
countries
on their
see
behalf,
the
but people looked
LGBTQ
into
plus
this over
shit
the course
as
of
like,
many
what the
months
fuck
and
are you
found
guys
out that
doing?
the AI claim was really just a Trojan horse, as the union VAs had other goals that they were not telling the
If
public.
if anything,
such as
I think
trying
the
to flip
fucking
all Hoyoverse
Chinese
games to
are
be
using it
union-only
against
games, which
the
can lead to
Western
the non-union
countries.
talent being forcibly removed
Putting up
from those games,
propaganda
and their roles
surrounding
then
it.
being taken from them and given to union VAs. Many of the union executives
Same with the
and
European
members also
countries. I
made
mean,
these
they're
disparaging
the ones
remarks
that
to people who
fucking
are
made
not a
it and
part of their
propagated
union.
it.
On top of that, it also turned out that these
Oh,
union
was it
VAs were
Germany
lying
that
about the
was
strike
the
and
one
that
who
it
was doing the
actually
first
being called a
gender
collective work
reaffirming
refusal? Well, the VA for Kenichi and Genshin Impact refused to work for around 6
gender
months to stand in those
reaffirming
union VAs. Hoyo
surgeries
eventually replaced this
back
guy
in like
6 months later,
1918 or some
and
shit.
Jacob Takanashi was the replacement VA that they hired. When Jacob posted about his new role, a bunch of the union VAs and their bootlickers openly harassed
It was
him,
basically
said they were
at the time,
blacklisting him, and a bunch of other terrible stuff, including
right,
Kaylee, as you can see.
the
And when
fucking
fandoms pushed back
odorless
against the toxic VAs and also pointed out their lies, the
gas
toxic
and
VAs and their
stuff.
supporters then attacked the fans. Now returning to Kaylee as we finish up the context on the way to reading her apology from late yesterday. Kaylee Mills had also gotten backlash for this comment where she said, "I guarantee you Ka-Ching," that's the character she voices on Genshin, "would be doing the work to educate people and do what's best for the people."
I'm
This
sorry.
being just one example.
This is why I hate voice actors. I feel like they are so they're so grounded in their surroundings that they're closed-minded basically. Like, you know that these Asian countries don't give a fuck about your fucking weird LGBTQ takes.
Example of many examples.
Actually, I
where
don't think
a lot of
these people
VAs
know.
have been gaslighting the
They
public,
just think
acting
everyone
like
knows.
what's in their best interest is really what's best for
Yeah,
everyone, which
basically.
has been
They're
verifiably
just trying to force you
incorrect. This
to
was another
do
take
what
that
they
got
want.
Kaylee immense backlash, so much that
They're
if I recall, she
Karens.
deleted this entire tweet
Negative
where
Nancys,
she was
Debbie
essentially trying
Downers,
to justify
Felicias.
Karina, the VA for Paimon, and someone who seems to be in their clique
Someone
of
who
VAs,
you should
continuing to work on Genshin,
throw
which
into the
goes against
garbage.
their strike, but trying to justify her doing that while justifying
They
their
have
attacks on Jacob
garbage
Takanashi, saying,
opinions,
Jacob's
garbage
done very little
takes.
VO work, so it isn't
Just
what
throw
he's
it in the
relying on to pay the
garbage.
bills. For all we know, his wife's the breadwinner. Either way, they bought a house recently, so I doubt it was a necessary job for survival. So that take was already terrible by default, but the part where she brings in his personal matters is something that specifically also got her even more backlash, making an already terrible post even worse. I think there were a few more things she said about Jacob, bad things obviously, but you get the point. So skipping ahead now to a video I made 2 days ago, this was another important update, and then we'll take a look at the apology right after this. You've pretty much got all the context, more or less, on the Kaylee part at least. So on the game Nikke, Kaylee voices the character Rappy, who I think people said is like the main character. I don't play Nikke, but
yeah, she's the main character, I think.
That's what people said. It's like either a main character or the main character of the game. And a few days ago, they had a live stream for 2.5, I think it was, like an event.
Man, why are some VAs just so... Some of these VAs are just... They do okay voices in the game, but man, when they start talking about their like political ideology and like their union idea, oh god. Jesus. Fuck.
Event going on for 2.5. And on the live stream, when Kaylee Mills' character came in, and you can see it says Kaylee Mills right here, the chat was filled with people roasting her, mocking her, demanding that she gets replaced, throwing tomatoes at her, just all kinds of stuff like that. I'm skipping through my coverage now. I know it's like I'm not talking here because I'm off screen. Like that's me from 2 days ago. This is me now. Sorry if that looks weird, but you get the point. So, as mentioned, the chat was just filled with people demanding that she gets recast. Okay. With all that context, we're here over on Kaylee's apology from April 21st, yesterday. She says, "To be honest, I have been advised against getting further involved in the situation at all, but I feel like this is the right thing to do. So here we are. First of all, I realized my criticism of Jacob should never have been public, although I was far from the first person to make a response. Further involving fans was not necessary and only caused more strife. I also apologize for bringing up the public tweet I saw in passing about him purchasing a home. It was wrong of me to use that as an argument that he didn't need this one job to make ends meet. I was frustrated trying to explain a point, and honestly, none of that is any of my business.
Wait, why do you care about him purchasing?
And it didn't matter
what
to the point I was trying to make at all.
You're a fucking weirdo.
I did send him a message privately on April 2nd to apologize about getting the public further involved and explain why we were upset. Also, that at least personally...
Wait, I'm sorry. Why we were upset? Who's we? Huh? Oh, probably about her activism shit.
There are no feelings of hatred or any hopes of ill will personally or professionally. Wow, yeah, it sure means a lot when you say that privately, but then publicly had things that definitely make it seem like there's ill will there and hatred there, but okay. Or any hopes of ill will personally or professionally. I do not know him, but I thought about what I would do if a friend or close colleague did something I found hurtful to our community, and I would have indeed not responded publicly. I would have confronted them directly. Although I originally had a much longer statement, and I'm interested in clearing up more of the misinformation I see about our refusal to work versus the official SAG strike, etc. I don't want to further involve any specific actor. The overall situation is so much bigger and more nuanced than this, and I hope in the future we can have a better conversation. In the meantime, I'm doing the work behind the scenes to try and support my community the best that I can." In the immediate responses, you can actually see that she added onto her apology.
Oh, Mugen said something. Oh shit, even checked. Oh man, even the evil man said something. Oh no, Mr. Egghead.
To say something doesn't make it more okay. I'm sorry that was clumsily worded. But then we got a bit of duality here from Mugen and Tectone. Mugen saying, "This is a step in the right direction. Other VAs who lashed out publicly and unprofessionally should follow. However, it'll take a long time before any sort of public trust is restored. Y'all had many chances to take a step back during the chaos, but chose only to double down." With Tectone saying, "That's gonna be a yikes for me, dog," and posting this extremely cursed picture. Scrolling on from those, other comments right at the top read, This is a good first step. However, it's going to take a real long time for people to forgive. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that at least this is one step in the right direction, and another similarly also saying it's a step in the right direction. However, other comments were a bit more critical. For example, this one that says, "We all know you're only apologizing because you got wrecked and destroyed because you were a terrible person. Any apology after something like that just seems
he doesn't
disingenuous
say
and
piece of
insincere.
crap.
No thanks. You
He
should
just says
fade away
terrible
into
person.
obscurity.
Aw.
And I hope all of you insufferable
You
toxic
can call
AAs
them
trying
a
to
piece
cancel
of
each
crap.
other
That's
get
safer.
replaced by AI. The damage is done, and you got what you wanted. And this apology sounds like BS spewed for legal reasons." Right below that, another one saying,
or a garbage
"So
of a
you're
human
not
being.
apologizing for the things you said. You apologize for the fact that
Is
you
that
made it
too
public.
much?
And your justification for having made it public was that you weren't the first person to make a response." And this one saying, "Yeah,
Is it
nah,
bad for
I
me to
can't
call
support someone who thinks
humans
double standards are a good
garbage?
thing. And if Genshin/Hoyoverse
I mean, you're
truly
kind
was
of
going to use
already
AI,
a
you all swear they
garbage.
might
You
use,
fucking eat
they
a
would have
bunch
used
of
it already.
fucking
But
garbage
guess which character
food,
was still
and then you
voiceless during
fucking shit
Lantern
out
Rain out of
garbage.
respect?
Like,
There's also an immense irony with that. They'll be like, "Oh yes, they just
you can't
want to
hate
replace
me
all of us
for
with
this.
AI." But they're literally mad and harassing Jacob Takanashi because he got hired. And guess what? He's not an AI. He's a human. In other words, Hoyoverse hired a human actor to voice their character. They didn't just replace John Patnois, the prior VA, with AI. But hey, they'll still try and find a reason to harass Jacob Takanashi for replacing this guy who refused to work for like 6 months. "Oh wait, he's
Like
not a part of
6
our clique. You're not supposed to just hire someone from outside our clique to replace us when we're refusing to work for 6 months. It's not supposed to work like that," shocked Pikachu. "Now
It's
you're
just
undermining
not
our
supposed to
manipulative
work
Trojan
like that.
horse
I don't know.
strike.
Maybe
How
just don't
diabolical.
go
Here
out
are
in the
a few
public
more
and say
comments to
some
take a look
fucking
at,
weird
and I'll
shit.
share my opinion right now. Of
Not
course,
that
as I
hard.
mentioned before, form your own opinion, but here's mine. I do not believe this is a sincere apology.
I mean, look, if you're going to do an opinion like this, run it through Chat GPT to make sure you're not saying some fucking weird shit. Literally, save yourself some time before you fucking just shoot yourself in the foot.
I think it's very, very much suspicious that this apology comes 2 days after, I think like 2 days, around 2 days after the Nikkei live stream that we discussed.
I swear, some of these people
To
who
me, it
say
really
the
comes
shit
off
they
like
do,
Kaylee
I
may
think
have
they
thought it
need
was
like
bad enough
extra
when she
help
got
or
backlash
something.
from the Hoyoverse community.
Ask an
But maybe in her
AI
mind,
to
she
help
was
you a
thinking,
little
like, "Oh,
bit.
I still have the Nikkei
It's not
community
much.
who's gonna
It'll
have my
take you
back."
some.
And
It'll
then when
just.
she sees that
It's
she's
just
also
an
getting
easy,
recast
just
demands backlash
typing.
from
You
the
know,
Nikkei community too,
you're already
she's
typing
like,
your
"Okay, I gotta do
message
something
like
about
this.
this.
Might as well
Gotta do
just do
something.
the extra
Let's make an
mile and
apology."
just fucking say,
Now,
"Hey,
I'm
can
not
you
just
help
saying
me with
this because
this?"
of those reasons either. It's very important to understand
I
that
want to say this,
voice
this,
actors
and
make
this, and then, but
a
can you put it in
significant amount of
nicer
their income
words?
from
I think
convention
this is too
appearances
fucking
where they
toxic.
do things like signing autographs, selling merchandise, and stuff
Easy.
like that. Now, of course, that therefore then means that they're going to need people who want to buy their autographs, signing events, want pictures with them, everything like that. In other words, if Kaylee Mills has upset a lot of people online and lost a lot of people who otherwise would have enjoyed meeting her at conventions and buying merch and, helping her get financial income that way, she's becoming more and more desperate to make what could be seen as a fake apology to try and win some goodwill back because her financial situation really depends on it. This meaning that there's a financial incentive for her to come out with damage control on top of it just being
I don't know what it is about all these people who just put on fucking
what's it called, putting out the fire, so to speak. That's like more of the behind the scenes stuff.
anime
There's the other obvious
characters as
part
their
well,
portrait. Every
probably doesn't
time
want to get
they're like
recast as the
anime
king of
characters,
Genshin
I have
and Rappy from Nikkei.
I
Another
kind
factor
of
could be,
question
I believe,
why
if I'm
are
not mistaken,
they
she also
like
does Twitch
this?
streaming. This is another thing that would rely
I
on
don't trust
having
these
people
people
who
is what
support
I'm
her
trying to
content,
say.
And if everyone's upset at her and doesn't want to support her, this again could be another factor into her making a
Yeah, I don't even
fake
trust
apology.
people with
However, I
fucking
also have
their
what, in
own
my opinion, is
identity
even
or
more
their
evidence supporting what I'm saying
right
here,
their own
especially
photos
the timing
because you
part
don't know if
and
those
the whole
photos are real
Nikkei
to
part,
begin with.
as that takes us over to
Anybody can
guess
just
where?
upload any random
Blue
shit.
Sky. I figured you guys might guess that one because I've been
You
digging up
already
a lot
have
of
people
stuff
doing
on
AI
Blue Sky
shit,
lately, as you've probably noticed from my
faking,
prior
doing
videos.
weird
Hopefully you
AI
can watch those.
chatbot
Hopefully you're
shit.
enjoying those. But now we're going to take a look at this one from Kaylee Mills from 11 days ago. You can see she had said, "Just wanted to hop on to say thank you for the well wishes.
Oh, is this on Blue
I hope
Skies?
everyone has been protecting their peace as
Blue Sky.
necessary. I'm doing okay. My Twitter is temporarily deactivated. I didn't make a statement because I didn't want to feel obligated to respond to anything else."
Oh, so
And
she
then
just
saying
moved
this.
to
I have
She moved
lots
to
of
Blue
thoughts and
Skies
feelings,
because she
but
was
I'm
getting attacked.
ruminating on them while the fire dies down. I may post my statement at a later time if it still seems like the right thing to do.
What
That was
the
back on
fuck? You're
April
so
10th. So you're
cooked.
telling me
Jesus.
that 11 days after she made the Blue Sky post that
Oh my
we
god,
just
she's
read,
so cooked.
that's when she decides to make this apology. Conveniently,
Is she even
2
good?
days after the Nikkei.
Given her personality, is she a good? Has anyone seen her up in person? Is this person? Does this person look good on the eyes, or is this person awful on the eyes? I'm sorry.
live stream where she
I'm
got
sorry.
even backlash from the Nikkei community. She just so happened to feel like, oh, this is the right thing to do now. Yeah, I wonder why. For the record, and I'm not sure if this is really significant at all, but I'll mention it just because it is additional context. She only posted her apology on Twitter. She did not post the Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not sure if that has any relevance or not.
I
Make of
don't
that
think-
part
I
what
don't
you
know.
will. And now I'd like to go back to the Genshin Impact subreddit to the apology post that we were reading, because let's play a little game. Let's have fun and see how long it takes to go through the top comments and see ones that are supportive of her, that believe this is a good apology. Once again on that post, sorting by best. I believe we read the first 2 comments already. So continuing. I'm not checking out all the responses too, Let's see just like the base comments. So to summarize, I'm sorry I insulted you publicly. I should have done it in private. Is that right? I know I shouldn't publicly harass Jacob, but I was not the first one. Lol, they can never
I
fully
didn't-
accept accountability.
I wasn't the
1,000
first
excuses
one.
for all they do. Loved when on Nikkei stream,
But I
everyone
still
was
did it
asking for a
anyways.
recast of
It's
her.
like, dude, what?
Honestly, this feels more like a PR safe reflection than a
The
real
weird
apology.
thing is, like, this person, you're basically attacking one of your coworkers because they had to change one of their living personal life situations, and you're being weird about it. And then the company came out and was like, "Hey, can you please stop being weird to your to your coworkers and on the internet? You're making us look bad." And then she keeps doing this shit.
She buries the actual "I'm sorry" under a paragraph of "I was advised not to speak here, but I am." Like, just say what you
Yeah.
did wrong and own it. Also, bringing up the private DM is weirdly performative. Yeah, it's something these VAs love, right? They're very performative people.
Yes, I
was
mean that's
private,
their
why
job,
mention it
right?
now?
They're
Just
very
let the
dramatic.
action speak for itself.
Just like
And saying the situation is
influencers
nuanced
and
without
idols.
clarifying anything feels like she's trying to shift focus off her own mistake and back onto a
Oh well,
vague
then
moral
again,
high
just
ground.
humans
Yep,
in
that's
general
nothing
are
these sort of
just
people love to
fucking
do. They
awful
love to seem
people
morally
and
virtuous and superior
love to
to
be
others.
dramatic.
It's just like I was discussing way earlier in this video with this tweet that she made about the whole, like, I guarantee you Kaching would be doing the work to educate people and do what's best for the people. How she was trying to frame the Union VA's best interest as like what's
Keking?
best for the people.
Or
implying,
Kaching,
like, oh, all the
that
people,
dumb
this is great
bit?
for everyone. It's not. It's just them being manipulative.
Just like Paimon.
All this apology is missing is an apology. I also apologize for bringing up the public tweet I saw in passing about him purchasing a home. LMAO, she's not sorry about her behavior. She's sorry she's being called out. She apologized. Oh, excuse me. 1, she apologized way too late. The damage has already been done. 2, if Jacob doesn't accept her apology, I frankly don't care. He's the one most hurt by her actions anyway, not me personally. This one just saying, wow. Let's be honest, the damage is already done. Not, I was wrong to attack Jacob. She said, I shouldn't have made my attacks public. Wow, when is she being replaced? Oh, and then we've got a long comment, but I gotta click view more. 1 second, it's gotta load. Okay. So this is someone saying that they improved her apology for her. Let's take a look. First of all, I realized my criticism of Jacob should have never been public. Involving fans was not necessary and only caused more strife. I also apologize for bringing up the tweet I saw in passing about him purchasing a home. It was wrong of me to use that as an argument that he didn't need this one job to make ends meet. None of that is any of my business. I don't want it to be, and it didn't matter to the point I was trying to make at all. I did send him a message privately on April 2nd to apologize about getting the public further involved and explain why we were
this
upset.
is on Reddit?
Also that, at least personally, there are no feelings of hatred or any hopes of ill will personally or professionally. I don't know him, but I thought about what I would do if a friend or close colleague did something I found hurtful to our community, and I would have indeed not responded publicly. I would have confronted them directly. The user saying, improved it for her. 3 out of 10 apology. See me after class. I genuinely still hope all of the people who attacked him get fired. The next comment reading, I'm sorry you're mad. How can a grown woman be this pathetic? This reads as extremely performative and as
I mean,
I'm saying
look,
this.
some of these people don't know how to take criticism, and when they take it, they get all fucking flustered and unhappy because they know they're in the wrong, but they don't want to accept it. They don't want to take accountability. No, I'm in the right. I did
only
the
for you
right
to
thing.
piss off.
I'm a Karen.
PR failed hard here. When speaking an apology, how you say it matters the most. When it's written, what is said is the most important.
Isn't the diva the Overwatch diva VA also the same thing? She's literally a diva, right? She's a nutso, cuckoo.
Spoke this, but sounded appropriately apologetic, then it would likely have gone just
rich
fine.
person
This,
in a sense.
though, in writing, just sounds completely the opposite. She doesn't sound sorry at all, nor like she accepts accountability in any way. Wasn't she the one saying, being on the right side of history feels nice? Oh my gosh, yeah, that was one of the ones I forgot to show earlier. I don't think I showed that one. I knew there was some other comments I was forgetting that she made, or like tweets that she made. Yeah, so you can see right here, Valeria Rodriguez, the VA for Sucrose, said, lost 400 followers for a couple of thumbs down and calling out entitlement in a fan base. Oh well, it is what it is. I appreciate everyone who's thought critically and supports what's going on and has integrity. This article actually put it really eloquently. And linking to an
Look,
article
I have my issues with fucking Genshin Impact and fucking Oyoverse, but it's like, I don't give a fuck that much. I don't, it's like, it's a fucking video game, man. You need to relax. You need to fucking relax.
PC Gamer talking about the backlash that Jacob got, but essentially like justifying
it's like
it
these
and citing
people
the
are
UVAs.
trying to
This is
make
something
like
I covered weeks ago.
they're trying to be like, this thing is gonna stay forever and ever and ever. No, bitch. People are gonna fucking die. People expire at the average age of around 60. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on which country you're in. But in America, it's like 70 or 60. Well, more like 70-ish.
Out how terrible that article was and how it just had overtly false information as well, which actually gets community noted here. So yeah,
that's
you
the
can see
end of the
the
road,
article
yo.
said John Patton had been voicing Kanish for
Nothing
5
is
years.
eternal.
Kanish first debuted in the game 6 months ago, and John had only voiced him for one patch, 6 weeks. Genshin Impact itself isn't 5 years old yet. So yeah, it's basically what I said in my video too. Hilarious this community note got added. And that takes us to Kaylee Mills' response, where Kaylee Mills said, "Thank you for speaking up. Being on the right side of history feels nice." Bro, oh my gosh. So yeah, I think it's going to be too jarring for me to include all this context back earlier in the video with the other stuff to include like this response and everything, unfortunately. But if you made it this far in the video, thank you. And yeah, there's something else crazy. And one final thing that I'll point out here is the irony of Valeria Rodriguez talking about critical thinking and sharing an article that has overtly false information.
Please, these people do not know how to critically think. All they do is talk about people, try to make hit pieces on people. Like, no. These people are fucking just smooth-brained people who go for the lowest common denominator, right? They'll go for lowbrow bullshit. Right? They'll hit you they'll hit you while you're down. Literally. These people are gross.
Anyways, guys, back over to Reddit, continuing our game. The game of how long it takes to find a positive comment actually supporting
these people will not actually, I
actually don't have time to continue this
they're
game.
trying to facilitate your downfall with them.
Video and everything. So, yeah, so far we haven't seen a positive comment. And scrolling now, not even reading, just scrolling, and I still don't see any of them. So, yeah, I guess I'll call it there. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the coverage. If you did, please consider liking and or subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.
There's no reason to read all the fucking brain dead That's not brain dead, really. What the fuck is this? Oh, Oshinokoi. Huh? It story that kills you. Alright, well, there you have it. Genshin VA tries to say sorry, but not really very sorry, is they? Are they? Sorry, I shouldn't bully him in public. She will bully. Oh man, that's too good. That sounds like fucking Hassan and yeah, that just sounds like fucking toxic people in general, right? Sounds like Elwig. Sounds like streamers in general. Damn it, I'm sorry. I don't know. Some streamers are okay in a sense. Some streamers are just and when they get criticism, they fucking flip out, even though that they fucking did that themselves.